right, hello there, Chick Chat. We are back to discuss Sister Wives, episode 12, season 20. And this is the second stop on Kody's apology tour.
Yes. The title of this episode is called What If We Work This Out? But it is in reference to Janelle and her past apology, not obviously to Christine, because they not working nothing out.
They ain't gonna work nothing out besides maybe a friendship cordial situation.
Possible. So we do kick the episode off with Kody working out. I suspect he's working out for special forces, because who works out like with a giant backpack on?
Yeah, that's like heavy. I mean, they do that in the military, the rucksacks, like they do that to work out there.
I think he was definitely aware that he was going to be doing this kind of activity, because I understand doing pull-ups, but I've never seen someone who's not training for something doing pull-ups with 40 pounds on their back. So I think he's training for special forces here. That's my suspicion.
But according to him, he's training because he's got a wife that's 10 years younger than him, but who looks about, his same age or 10 years older, honestly. Like, I don't know what we're doing.
I was actually surprised to be reminded of that. I mean, I obviously knew that in the back of my mind, that she was younger than everybody. But I was just surprised to be reminded of exactly how much younger she is, because, the stress has done a number on Lady Robin.
This plural marriage alone, even like doing all that money siphoning and jewelry nonsense, has aged her like a president.
It really has.
She has aged double. Like, it's like
not even just of the first lady. She's aged like a
president.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have Kody just working hard. I mean, he's always been in good shape, and all the sister witches sort of echo that sentiment as well, that he does work out. But I think it was Meri or something that says that he's been working out more lately, if I remember right, which I don't know how she would know that, especially because apparently it's so toxic between them. But this kiss is as treacherous and tragic as all the rest of them.
They really want to push Robin on me, like that she actually likes this guy. She walks in like, oh, the only thing more attractive to me is him being a good dad to my children and no one else's.
I know. That's the only thing that really makes her raw. I don't know why she insists on describing her being turned on or, attracted to him. I mean, these are adult words that adults use, but to say something makes you raw at the ripe age of 75, Robin? Yeah. I mean, come on.
She really does look like a whole grandmother.
She truly does.
She does. She wears the frumpiest clothes. And she does this poof thing with her hair.
How could you talk like that about a diesel jeans model?
With all this money, she couldn't get any Botox to make herself look a little younger. Not saying that she has to. I'm just saying that, like, Kody's over here working himself out to death because he thinks he's got to keep up with this woman who literally had him adopt her kids in case she had a heart attack or something, because she don't do nothing.
It's just all the luster in her body is gone. Her hair used to be vibrant. Her skin used to be fresh. Like, she's just lost.
She went from 30 to 60 within like 10 years.
Yeah, she sure did.
I can't believe this woman's probably in her 40s. I mean, she's got to be, right? She looks older than that.
Let me look.
And I am white, okay? I know white people age, accordingly most of the time. But this is just she looks like she's went through a whole presidency.
She's 47.
You would think, she got all this money out of it, a multi-million-dollar home, millions of art pieces, dolls, all that stuff, everything she ever wanted, and it's aged her terribly.
I know. You're right. Yeah,
to the point where it's aging her children. Aurora, or whatever her name is, looks like her now. Like,
she might, I go back and forth. I know I said I'll never again go back and forth on Robin because I saw her mask come off a couple episodes ago. But she might really be going through the emotional distress that she's telling us that she is, because you're right. I mean, she's comfortable. She lives a good life. She gets everything that she wants. The only thing that could make somebody truly look this way, just loss of luster, is just a sheer emotional panic. It's just bad.
It is.
Hey Joe, I know, and I don't like to hate on anybody's appearance,
Yeah.
but I just want to comment on the like that's what I feel like we're commenting on the most is the difference. But the comparison, if you look at her in season 4 to now, it's just she's just pale and like someone's put a filter over her.
I think, typically I wouldn't really care about someone's appearance if they've aged or whatever. I mean, it's all part of life, right? Some of these people need to stop trying to reverse age, like Madonna. The lady's just looking scary. But in Robin's case, I have seen season after season of her passive aggressively coming at the other sister wives for looking either older or more frumpy or whatever. I mean, remember when she bought the large t-shirt for Janelle?
Yeah. And she pulled it off.
And she thought she was being slick. And then she took them to a freaking clothing store that only had her sizes so they could watch her try on dresses for an event they were all going to. Crazy. So do I feel bad?
And I think it was the same thing too, even with the wedding dress debacle, when she took all the sister wives to try on wedding dresses with her, and then secretly Kody and her already knew what wedding dress she was going to wear. I think it was the same thing, that she was showing herself off, not that she was trying to have a moment. So no, you're right. I think if anybody deserves to have some criticism thrown their way for how full of themselves they have been, I think that that's true. Joe, she's done so many things. I feel like that's just like skimming the surface. But yeah.
Just a sliver of what she's done. This comment she's made.
I read this somewhere. I cannot remember where I read this, but it was somebody's comment somewhere, and they said that they were like binge watching some of the old episodes, and that and watching them week to week, you kind of don't notice how terrible people become and get, because it kind of goes on so slow. But when you watch it all together, you can see the progression so much more quickly. And I thought that was a really interesting take, and probably so true, because we do forget what Robin does. I think especially because these last couple of seasons, Kody really has tried to fall on her sword kind of thing. And I think he has accomplished that a smidge, except everything she's done in the past is on camera, and we can all go back and look, and we have memories. So
yeah, nowadays we got YouTube. People can compile that back to back. I remember there was even a time where she said something about well, I didn't even know about being his type because the other women are more voluptuous, or whatever the word she used was.
Yes.
And I'm like, are you trying to say you think he's into bigger, ladies or something? Are you, she'd make comments like that where it's like she's trying to sound like she's being nice. And then remember when she wanted Janelle to work on the plus size portion of whatever clothing thing they were doing.
Plus size athletic wear, because that's also when Janelle was in her, gym girl era at the same time, and she was losing a lot of weight. And so, and she thought she was supporting her that way. And I just thought that was absolutely horrific. No wonder she was never interested. She even said that 100 times. She's like, that's just not something I'm interested in.
Yep. If you're ugly on the inside, eventually it'll show on the outside. That's what I think.
So true. So as usual, if the episode opens with Robin, we do have to spend the first 5 to 7 minutes getting out our anger. So.
Sorry, it just triggers me.
I know. So she does end up initiating a conversation with Kody. It's weird. It seems like Kody didn't come running to her to tell her what happened with Janelle. Like, she had to really kind of corner him in this gym.
I feel like he probably did tell her, but you got to remake some of these scenes for producing.
That's fair.
Yeah,
definitely. But I mean, the conversation's pretty brief and light. It's almost as if Kody seems disinterested. Now, I will give him the fact that he also sounded out of breath. Like, I know he just got done working out and it probably wasn't the best time, but I don't know. I mean, maybe the workout scene was produced too. Maybe he wasn't that out of breath.
Can you see the way he was running, all like little
Yes.
steps?
Like he was running like a Sasquatch, man. It was actually wild.
Oh my gosh, between Meri trudging up the snow that one season and then him running like that, I'm like,
And
what is going on?
They had that weird filter over it when he was running, which kind of made me feel like, I don't know, it looked like Coyote Pass. And I was like, what is going on here? Because that's how the whole episode opened, was him just like running in the desert. It was crazy.
Yeah, maybe it's just Flagstaff in general is just one big Coyote Pass.
I think it is kind of like desert-y there and mountainous and rocky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And red.
Yep.
You know, especially where they live now. Lots of red soot. So Kody lets Robin know that he feels a lot better after talking with Janelle. And for some reason, Robin was more interested on asking him if he felt like God had told him afterwards that it was the right thing to do.
Okay. Yeah, it was weird. Like she was a little strange in this scene. I couldn't tell whether or not she was satisfied with whatever Kody's doing.
Yeah. She seemed like she was hoping Janelle wasn't as forgiving. I agree. You know, that could definitely be part of what was going on. There was that, like, she made this big surprised face when Kody tells her that he apologized, which is obviously not news to anybody. And so he even looks confused by her surprise. And
yeah, I mean, what else was he flying out there for? I mean, he
exactly.
left your house.
So it might be, like Joe said, maybe she misunderstood and said, like, she thought that either Kody was saying sorry to her, to Robin, or Kody was saying sorry.
She did at one point think he was saying sorry to her.
I think that's where her big surprise face came. And, you know, I think this also planted a seed in this man's mind right here that he does actually owe his current wife an apology too.
On camera.
On camera. Yes. So I don't know. I think it's kind of funny that, you know, she wasn't like a little side star in the apology tour, you know, because I don't know when that's going to happen. Is she going to intrude on Meri's episode?
It depends where they're at in the woods. Are they in the Flagstaff woods? I'm guessing they're in the Parowan woods, maybe by that P thing.
I don't know. I don't even feel like Kody's going to drive up there. He's probably just like, you know, come if you come. If not, you know, I'll be here on this rickety.
We'll meet halfway.
We'll meet halfway at a public park.
I still don't know. I mean, I still don't get why he had to go all the way to Vegas for Christine's. You think he'd want to stop in Utah so he could see whatever children are out there? Because as we'll see in the preview of the next episode, David's going to be like, stop with your kids. Like, why aren't you like also reaching out to your kids? I'm still flabbergasted by that.
Yeah. Speaking of David, he's going to really shine in this episode. There's 2 bonus scenes that I was able to pick up, and they were quite long. Both of them were like 2 minutes long, and one of them is a conversation between David and Christine right before they meet with Kody that I thought was pretty good between the 2 of them. So yeah, I think David is really facilitating this meeting a lot more than Kody realizes. But anyways, he is sitting and he's a little bit worked up and worried about how everything's going to go with Christine. You know, everything went so well with Janelle. He said what did he say? Like, things going well was an understatement kind of thing. Like, said that it went, you know, so great. And then they did that flashback again of how he was like, well, I gave you the high honor of extending the olive branch first, and how she just like melts into her hands and stuff.
I've been thinking about her ever since.
I swear. It's performative. He doesn't care to reach out to his kids, and this is for TV. I completely agree, because you know what you can't do is fit 18 children, well, 15, 14, 13 children's apologies on a nice little apology tour.
Well,
popped into the end of the
that
season.
table him and Christine and David sat at, they could have fit a good number of them at least.
I agree. I know. Like, Christina freaked her out. She's like, who else is coming? And David did not miss an opportunity to mess with her, which I do love about him.
He didn't even say anything. I was like, why is she freaking out? He's just sitting there like, I don't know.
I think that's why, like, he's just so good at being funny.
Anyway.
So, okay. Well, we move over to Parowan for this bicycle and breakfast fundraiser that's going on for Jen and her husband, Sean, I think his name is.
Yeah.
What you looking at?
The woman's crotch. I was trying to figure out if those were buttons or what. Like, I wasn't going to say nothing.
I think it's like a style. Actually.
Okay.
Sort of like
sure.
a tie-dye situation.
I don't know. I was trying to think if they were just all the way buttons or like I just noticed those. I didn't notice that before.
She looks like Aurora to me. Yeah.
At first, when I saw that screenshot, I thought they was carrying a little coffin.
Why are they carrying a coffin, Miss A?
I don't know. My pregnancy brain is crazy these last few days. I'm missing shit. I'm having a hard time over here, you guys.
Yes, so. Everybody send positive vibes and well wishes to Anne and to baby.
Buenos dias. Anyway, so yeah, Meri's talking about this event.
Yeah, and she gives us this like sister wife spiel about her friends.
Yeah, is this producer driven? Who talks like this about their friends when they're on the like? They weirdly always bring things back around to polygamy and stuff, and I don't think it's always necessary. She's like, well, me and my friends, we're as close as you can be for not sharing a husband.
And then at the same time, she says, like, I don't think I could have had this relationship with my sister wives. And that is precisely because
you're sharing a husband.
So you can't have it both ways. I really don't think you can have this genuine of a friendship when you all share a husband and resources, unless your husband is like truly the most generous, wealthy man ever who's just dedicated to your family.
Honestly, that's what some of the women on Seeking Sister Wives need to realize too. Like, they're really just looking for friends.
Yeah. Yeah. You could find friends. You could leave your plural marriage and find friends. And a man named Ron.
And a man. Yeah, apparently we've been gaslit this whole season because Meri's been going on all these dating things, but she's been dating Ron on the side and they don't even live very close. So there's trips that we've missed,
We got a slideshow of their activities.
He's even worthied up.
He's worthied up now. He's joined the club. He probably pays a damn membership fee. He's got all the t-shirts. He shows up in the t-shirts. Like, this man is more locked in than Meri is telling us. But she says they're just spending time together.
I get being private, but don't gaslight me with all the weird speed dating stuffs.
Exactly.
Like, you're not talking to this man.
She's not even good at pretending to be interested in dating, especially when she has Ron. And Ron seems cool. I mean, maybe it's Ron who doesn't want to be on TV. Maybe she learned and he learned the lessons with Amos.
I feel like there was a lot more filmed with Amos and they just cut it all out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because there was, some weirdness either in the end of last season, beginning of this season. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just feel like they definitely, because they're also trying to work that timeline up to Garrison last season, because normally we would be a year behind right now. And they were able to conveniently cut out all the Amos stuff, I think, because of that. I think that
I'm okay with that. I think Amos was the rage when it happened, but by the time the show came out, Amos was not the rage.
Yeah. No, I'm over it too. I'm honestly like, I like this Rod guy. I think he seems like a nice guy, but I'm still annoyed that I had to watch Meri pretend to speed date. I mean, shoot, last episode, I didn't get a match. Okay, let's leave. Like, what was all that? Like, why did you waste like 15 minutes of my time?
Honestly. So, I did also notice about this episode, we are hopping and jumping and skipping around quite a bit. So we are kind of just opening up all the scenes here. So what Janelle's storyline this episode is going to be, she's going to sort of unpack the apology with her friends. I'm happy to see some of her friends back and hanging out with her because I know that these are some of the final memories that she's going to make with Angela. So I don't know, it feels kind of special, I guess, to be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like they went out for what, breakfast or lunch or something.
Yes, and Janelle was so excited about the coffee place that they were at, but they didn't seem to really eat very much. I don't know if that's just a producer thing too, that they need to just get the convo in. But Joe says seeing Janelle make her friend and seeing the friend so much in these episodes makes me sad. I know. It makes me sad too. It's hard. I don't know. It's hard for me to see people who have passed away on TV like so soon.
Yeah.
After they passed away, even when actors pass away, I kind of avoid their movies for just a little bit, not forever. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm glad, I'm glad that they didn't just cut all of these things out because she was such a good friend to Janelle during this time. Even in this conversation, I thought she was like, she was rational. She wasn't like kind of like Christina, who is a little bit spicy. But we all need a spicy friend, and then a friend who's like, yeah, it's okay, but he still needs. I love that she was like, well, more needs to be said. Like she was just not impressed, and I think we all agree.
I agree with her, especially about the kids. That's where I'm flabbergasted that Janelle just melted like a dying snowman instead of
really did.
saying something about her kids. I did think it was funny that they asked about him having a visor. This must be like a running joke between all of them that he wears that visor.
It's her, Christina. She makes fun of his visor. They did that when they talked about it, and they showed a couple of clips back when Janelle was in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
New
Orleans. But yeah,
so they kind of drop us off on this cliffhanger of, would you ever get back to Kody? And it looks like Janelle's making a face like she's thinking about it, but we all know that this woman is not thinking about it.
But someone who is thinking about getting together is Ron and Meri. Look at them.
Yeah, I know.
Matching fits and everything.
I know. He shows up
in
the
jeans.
Outfit. They do. They totally match. What's not going to match is their helmets. They had a little bit of a helmet debacle together, which is funny to me because I have some pictures of when they all went biking and not a soul was wearing a helmet, not even Meri. So I don't know why she had that little prop in her hand anyways.
She touching his butt.
I was wondering that too. That's why I kept this one. I took a couple different pictures of them.
Good on you, Meri. Touch his butt. He is much better looking than Kody. So
he is. He does the hands on the hips a lot. He pretty much did that all day, but he's like
some guys do that.
I think that's their regular stance.
Yeah,
helps the flow.
Yeah, some guys do that, especially if they're worker guys.
He's a worker guy, definitely. Cracking eggs all over the place.
Yeah, they go on the little bike shop thing. For some reason, I don't know if this is just like because I'm 11 months pregnant or not, but I kept thinking that this was like a Harley Davidson bike ride. And then my surprise, these are just regular bikes.
You do have pregnancy brain. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I really thought like we were going to be selling Harleys out this thing.
They had scenes in Jen's bike shop before.
And, it just all goes in and out. Like, I really didn't retain any of that.
Obviously. No, these are bicycles.
Yeah. Well, now I know, but I was like, where's these bikes? Oh.
Did you think that Jen and Meri were like biker bitches?
Jen, maybe?
Possible.
I mean, shoot, you make a lot of money selling Harleys.
I guess, yeah. I mean, they said exactly what it is. It's not just a bike shop, but it's mostly bikes, but I guess it's like sports equipment or something too. But yes, this is their shop and they're doing a bike ride to support their bike shop, not their motorcycles.
People. Yeah. So, I'm sure there's someone out there like me, but
we all got a good laugh with that. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's just your pregnancy brain, I'm sure. It'll all come back.
Anyway, so yeah, they are all off. Although I didn't see anybody actually get on bikes and start leaving. Everyone was just conjured up at the store, and then the next minute we're having breakfast. So I'm like, where's the bike ride?
You
Oh,
missed
I
it.
wasn't paying attention to none of this.
You're so funny today. Oh my gosh. Yeah, actually, so not
Wow.
only did they show them all bike riding, but what
Holy shit.
did
Okay.
you watch this episode, Miss Anne?
I did, but I must not have been looking at this part. Mary's scenes these days, though, I mean, can you really blame me?
A lot of people are fast forwarding Meri scenes. So yeah, no, I
Yeah.
do not blame you. I am here to make sure that we don't miss a detail. Don't worry. But yeah, so not only did they not wear their helmets, like Meri was pretending that she was going to wear a helmet, they
None of
pulled
them
out
did.
in front of a truck. They actually showed them all biking out, and there's just a truck like right behind them. I'm guessing it was a producer truck, so they probably weren't worried about it, but they did pull out in front of a giant black truck. And then they proceed to pop wheelies and be like driving with no hands and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, Meri can go on and on about safety if she wants to, but she was out here popping wheelies and driving with no hands.
Her health insurance must be great.
It must be. I don't know where she gets it from. She's unemployed.
Well, she probably buys it herself.
I bet.
Anyway,
so we pop back over to Janelle, who lets us know that for just a brief moment, she was thinking during the whole Kody meetup, what if they work it out? But she kind of dismissed that thought to maybe people just have this thought with all of their exes. And I can't necessarily disagree with that, but I don't know that everybody feels that way about their exes.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think you could get me at a table with one of them. But
I think maybe if you're single and, you know, it's not been a lot of time, you might think about that. But especially not if you're moved on or like in Christine's position, right? She's not going to walk away thinking that. So Janelle was really melting for that man. She sure was. I mean, she had to hold her own head up. I mean, she was just, oh, I get the high honor. Why aren't you asking this man about his children and what his plans are to see the plethora of children who live in North Carolina to where he's
part of me feels like Kody knew that she would be like that if he did say these things and she wouldn't ask about the kids.
Yeah. But, yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think she kind of avoided the topic. She wanted it to be as pleasant as it was. And, you know, I can't blame her for that. And all her children are grown now and it's between them, I guess. But I think she should have at least advocated for their position. Like, do you have plans? Like, do you know that most of your kids, at least the kids that I've birthed, are not interested in having a relationship with you?
Well, in the way this was presented by Kody to Robin and myself is that he's trying to go through the moms to like get to the kids. So why wouldn't you bring up the kids at any point and just be like, even briefly say, you know, I'm starting here, but I'm hoping to extend this to my children. And I don't think TLC would cut that out if that was said. I mean, we're all wondering.
Agreed.
What about these kids? You have.
I know, even her friends, that was one of the first things they asked is, what has he said anything about the kids?
Right.
Instead, Janelle wonders if he's gone to a 12-step program because, I mean, he did give a good apology. I'll give him that. But if you're wondering if he's been, you know, programmed, then what a wonderful time to ask about these kids and say, what is your next step for them? I am pretty disappointed that Janelle did not bring that part up. And I think you're right. It would not have been edited out, or it would have at least been in a bonus scene, which it was not. So.
Right. And it just doesn't help that all these kids have now come forward, a lot of them, and said, I haven't heard from my dad. Leon said it. I haven't heard from that man. I don't even know him from the back of my hand at this point.
I know. And Leon said, you know, I haven't heard from my dad since Garrison passed away. But let's be real. I mean, that's not you hearing from your dad either, unfortunately. You guys
all being forced to be in the same room.
And and so it's been longer than that.
Well, and they also said that not only has that been the last time that they heard from Kody, but that Kody didn't even speak to them there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how you hearing from somebody, you're just in the same room as them. That's what I would have said as last time.
Right. I think Liam probably maybe did say I haven't seen my dad since then, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Janelle gives us this excuse. She doesn't even really finish the sentence to this sentence here. She just says, "Yeah, I thought about bringing everything up, but you know,
now I'm getting spiritually divorced."
Yeah, it's just like, what do you mean, lady?
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed that she didn't mention anything. You know, she has no reason on why she didn't mention it. She didn't mention it herself. Thank goodness we see David bring it up in this preview, or else I would have started losing hope on this stuff. Because even Christine, when he starts this apology office, like, it's all in the past. The past is the past. And she seemed pretty cordial already. And I'm like, well, I hope she remembers to bring up these kids, especially Truly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Kody does have the benefit that each of these women are pretty caught off guard when they hear his just open apology. There was no conditions on Kody's apology, which has literally never happened, I think, for any of these women, that he just came to them and said, "I'm sorry, and I'm sorry for all these things," and been really explicit about it. So I think he gets the benefit of all of them being baffled. And then they kind of lose their minds for a minute and they totally can't focus on what their goals are.
Yeah, like they were unprepared. For sure.
Yes. Yeah. But they were all prepared. I mean, we've watched them all sit and talk about for years, you know, how angry they are with Kody and what their gripes are with him. And then knowing that he's coming to extend an olive branch, we've watched all of them think about what they want to say. And then, yeah, they just, I mean, at least Janelle, she melted. Christine's not going to melt, but I think you're, you know, like you said, she just kind of dismisses it almost immediately. There is a bigger bonus scene too that we're going to be able to see with all of that going on, which gives a lot more context. I don't know why that wasn't included in the regular episode.
They love to do that. They'll give me a bunch of crap with Meri that I don't care to watch just to keep important things to themselves.
Exactly.
Crazy.
This bonus scene episode should have been the real episode, in my opinion. It was a lot easier to watch. And it wasn't so like dicey and spaced up either. But yeah, but I'm glad to hear. I mean, I guess I did wonder for a second if Janelle was still going to move forward with the spiritual divorce post apology, because she was so open to it and melting. So I'm happy to hear that it's actually seemed to sort of harden her stance, that it's just time to move on. I think she really did see that as a closed book, even though she was so sweet with him. I think she just was ready to heal. So I hope that is something that gets acknowledged soon. I know we did see in the preview that she's going to talk to Meri about it and then send some kind of text message. We'll see where the text goes, I guess. Hey, Days, she doesn't want to see that man in the afterlife. That was the goal here, right? In getting spiritually divorced. And I completely agree with that. And not only would you be with him in the afterlife, but Robin too.
Yep, her favorite person.
Janelle makes sure to let us know, I think in this scene, that she told Kody, you can come to North Carolina, but don't bring a stinky wife.
Don't bring a stank wife.
I don't want to see that.
I don't have nothing to say to her. She didn't even say hi to me when I stepped out my car.
She didn't say bye either.
No highs, no buys from that lady. No one wrong with that lady.
Right. Speaking of bye, though, her friends encourage her to maybe think about having a divorce party or a goodbye forever party. Janelle seemed amused by that idea. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or what kind of event.
Why not?
I think it would be great. Christine's already cut up her wedding dress all kinds of different ways for all kinds of different art projects. So why can't Janelle
Meri's
have like
cut up everything else? So
exactly, literally everything else. Her photos are coming next. I mean, season 21 is going to be Meri just cutting Kody out of every photo that exists.
She was breaking signs and doing all kinds of crazy stuff last season.
I know. It was really the Meri physically, breaking out.
It was a Kody cleanse, that's for sure.
Yes, certainly. Her whole house and spirit and storage unit and t-shirt
blankets. Everything.
So we have David and Christine prepping. This is the first time I think that we've seen them this episode. And they are in Las Vegas. They are getting ready to talk to Kody. And Christine lets us know that she has not even really had a conversation with this man since she's left the whole family. And they make sure to give us they didn't show us the knife and the kidney part exactly, but a little other portion of that scene where he was like, you didn't try to have a really good relationship with these other women.
Yeah.
It's like just.
Oh, get along with me. That was the easy part. The kids were the easy part. Like
the whole time, Robin is like convulsing in her chair. It's just how dramatic. Those
easy
were
about raising kids like that altogether. I mean, geez Louise.
I know why it's just wild times, wild history between these people. I don't blame Christine if that is one of their last conversations when he was doing all that and being so angry. And then in the years since, he said all this stuff to Suki and all these things. You know, I would not want to talk to this man either. But
I can't help but appreciate what a performance that was. It's like he memorized a script.
We still talk about that scene. I mean, it's been 4 years probably. It's just
the man literally could have won a daytime Emmy for that. It really felt quite like it was in a movie, like quite scripted. Like he saw that somewhere and was like reenacted it passionately.
I mean, it's the biggest family breakup scene I think ever on television. David needed to be there. Yes, David is the complete mediator, facilitator in this entire situation. He even is in this first bonus scene. I take a lot of photos of the bonus scenes because I don't take notes on them. So I'm going to just kind of read the script on the bottom word for word.
Well, a lot of people haven't seen them, so it's probably
and good. Yes, also, I mean, this is a pretty detailed version in photos. So she kind of elaborates more on the fact that they haven't spoken. She says that the reason that they haven't spoken is because they had no reason to talk about the property. And essentially after, her property was sold at her house, she kept the money and then she gave the property over to Kody. So they didn't have anything to talk about with Coyote Pass.
Okay, but they have a whole minor child to talk about.
Yes, so they call her Trulia.
Okay.
Trulia. Like, wow, okay. So she does bring up Truly. She says with the Truly stuff, it really hasn't been a conversation because my assumption is that there was lawyers involved with that. She doesn't elaborate, but I know that there was lawyers involved. So she says that they haven't really conversated about Truly. And Truly's old enough to probably, if she needs to talk to her dad, that she can contact her dad herself.
Sure, I'm sure she's got a phone.
Right. So Christine says, because we haven't talked, it probably is a good thing and will be good for us to sit down. And David agrees. And then Christine sort of backs up a little bit. And she was like, well, maybe not good, but at least necessary. And necessary mostly for the kids. So Christine is starting off with her goals, focus on the kids, focus on having at least a pleasant conversation for the first time in years. And David just continues to be reassuring. Was this during the custody case? I don't believe so. I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like this is a little bit afterwards because I think the custody case was even happening before Coyote Pass was settled. I
think that's when it started. I mean, it still could be an ongoing thing, honestly, for all I know.
Well, I mean, as long as Truly is under 18, they'll have an open, custody agreement.
Right.
But I think they were going back and forth a little bit about child support and things like that. But I do believe that was settled, but I don't know when.
Yes, I think
my guess is he would apologize after all that stuff is probably said and done, but that's just a guess.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was apologizing during to kind of make things a little smoother for himself.
And, that might give some more context as to why Christine was so wondering about what his motives were, because nobody else seemed to be so, she was very concerned about, I don't know what his intentions are. I don't know what his motives were when she had that conversation with David in the woods or whatever after playing pickleball. So maybe it's a good question, Dates. It's possible.
Possible.
So Christine is saying, well, David said, it'll be fine. And she said, yes, I do think it's going to be fine. And you're going to be there. So, everything's going to be okay. And they keep going on about how it's really just necessary for Christine to have this conversation because of the kids. And David says, he goes, it's good to show, what's that word? Unity for the kids. I'm like, this guy does have trouble completing a sentence.
He means well, and he's like got the right ideas, but
he totally does. But I think that's why so many of his lengthier conversations get pushed into these bonus scenes, because he really doesn't finish a sentence before he starts a new one, like rarely. So it's kind of hard to follow. But Christine does well. I mean, Christine could talk to her own self, so I think she just responds whenever she feels it's necessary. But she agrees too about the whole kid situation. She says that she thinks that the kids should feel comfortable being with all of their parents. And David says, look, there's no reason to be anxious. We're already here. We're definitely meeting up with him. And she says, yes, we are. So I'm just not going to think about the past. I'm not going to go in with any expectations except for being open. And then he says that he thinks it will be fun. And she obviously is offended by that.
Especially for him.
Yeah. I mean, I think for him it will be fun. Like, sit, have a beer, listen to this guy squirm a little bit. Whatever.
Yeah. Although Kody's worried about David, cutting into his apology and stuff. But I'm like, man, let's pick a side. One minute you're like, David, I need to invite him because it's respectful and I want to respect their marriage and he should be there because he has said things about me and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, but I hope he doesn't interject. Like, just what?
Yeah. You can't expect for the man to just sit there and be quiet. I mean, how awkward would that be? Especially David. I mean, I know that you're over here saying David doesn't know you. Well, you don't know David either. I think a lot of us know David better than you do. And that man ain't going to be quiet when he has an opinion for nothing. Okay? Yeah, so if you wanted him there, you should have put him on the other side of that big table if you wanted him to be quiet.
And let's not forget, he's been around your kids more than you have the last year or so.
That part. Yes. So the bonus scene actually continues on. This was a lengthy one. So we get a little bit of a confessional from David, and he's pretty much repeating the same thing, that when he was asked by Kody to come, he really didn't give it a second thought. He says, of course I'm going. I'm going to protect my wife. And then I thought that this was actually a really good exchange between Christine and David. This part, she's sitting and she's really just kind of seems exhausted. And David's just giving her, he's sort of leveling with her. And he's like, look, things cannot get any worse than they have been between you and Kody. Basically, what you guys are doing right now, and he has said as much too, is that you're building the foundation between each other from the ground up again. So I think you both have good intentions to come into this conversation. He's like, when's the last time you talked to this man? And she's like, it's been a couple years. And he's like, again, can't get any worse. So at least you're talking. So I thought that was a good way to just level with her that, whatever worst case scenario you're thinking is actually already going on. You're already not on speaking terms. So if it goes terribly, you just won't be on speaking terms again.
Yeah. I mean, their worst case scenario is this becomes some brawl at this little private room and they just leave.
Yeah. That maybe.
And everything stays as it was.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, it can only go up from here, essentially, is what he was trying to say, and that she should focus on, being a person who's receptive to whatever he has to say too. So we see Kody arrive. He says he's coming to apologize. He also can't help himself but to say some BS about, I'm here to apologize, but I'm nervous because other people have done bad things, but I'm not here to focus on those things. Well, then why are you bringing it up? What?
He's just a talking hamburger.
He is a talking hamburger.
like what is the point?
I know. I feel like this confessional is like post special forces, because he looks beefier here. Just look at his
he's been wearing all those necklaces, and I noticed that but once he came back from there is when he started wearing all those necklaces.
Yeah, I mean, his neck is the size of his head.
I think he was, he kind of started his apology tour, because Special Forces is only 10 days. So he probably started his apology tour with Janelle, maybe that was like on his way to wherever Special Forces is. Because don't they like leave the country for that? Where do they go?
Yes, I think they're in Africa somewhere.
Sure. So maybe he went
South
over to
Africa,
the
but I
east
think
side. Yep. And then he just kind of kept going. And then now he's back. So he's ready to complete his pilgrimage.
Agreed. That's actually a really good theory, especially if it happened in the order that they showed it happening on TV, because he probably was on that side of the country to fly out and go to Special Forces. I feel like he saw Janelle first because he looked still kind of skinny. And then he went to Special Forces, and then he came back. He downloaded with Robin, and then now he's on his way, because he also refers to, in the bonus scene, a conversation that he had with a friend where he realized he was being immature. And I feel like we've referenced that from Special Forces when he was in that little thing. So we
of course, because his only other friend is the cross-eyed man, and he never gives that man the time of day to actually explain things.
Well, I think also might be referring to that time his brother came and was helping him move, but he refers to him as a friend. So I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. So anyways, David is waiting for his woman to finish getting ready. He says she's nervous about the whole dill, and it's a big dill.
The whole dill.
The whole effing dill. And
what a big dill.
Christine's in there also nervous about the dill. But
it's a big dill.
It is a big dill. It's the biggest dill.
What a dill.
Yeah. Speaking of dills, Dave was trying to hide his dill because he thinks his wife is so sexy.
He really hyped her up before this. Yeah, he wanted.
He did. He gave her like 7-11 compliments, just like you look beautiful and sexy.
Well,
and
I don't blame him. She's walking into a room with a man that has literally degraded her for eating nachos in a car. So
I agree. And I think it takes a big, wonderful, awesome man like David to just be so unbothered and just be happy for her that she is looking good and feeling good and wanting her to look and feel good when she's seeing her ex for the first time. And it's not about like making someone feel jealous, right? He understands that it's about her feeling her best and presenting herself when she's having this difficult conversation.
Although
so I think he's just an A+.
I will say all these women have glowed up besides Robin.
I know. Christine used to have no luster in the way that I was just talking about Robin not having any luster in her skin or hair or voice. And now look at all this luster in this woman. She's fully re-lustered.
Yep.
Shiny
especially
hair,
that scene where Janelle had them all go to dinner to talk about the future of their polygamous relationship. Christine looked just disheveled.
Yeah. She was a shell of a human at that point. It was sad.
It was very sad. And now look at her. And now look at Meri too. I mean, Meri's glow up should be studied as well. Even just from last season.
I'm telling you, it's emotional distress. I think Robin has gone through some form of emotional distress. I mean, it can't be about the loss of the sister wives, but it's got to be about something.
Kody's just really hard to live with. I mean, we keep hearing about how particular he is.
Yeah, that's very true. I think he probably is just hard to be around. And, I think he actually might have gotten a smidge of some insight about that when he did go on Special Forces. I know on the Vile Files, he said something like, I didn't really realize how I present to other people, how I come across to other people. So maybe he's learning, but I don't think he's going to do much.
Not learning fast enough. The man's like a Sanderson sister. He just like sucks the souls out of everybody he's with to get, younger looking and feeling.
Yeah. And not Ron, but Kody.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Not Ron. Kody, yes, for sure.
Yes. So we get back over to Parowan, and Ron lets us know that he's happy to be there. He's eager to jump in and help as much as possible. And that he loves Parowan, but he's also at the same time never spent any time in Parowan. But he saw the glowing pea last night when he arrived in town, and he's awestruck.
I didn't even realize that thing glue. I thought it was like made of flowers.
Neither did I. And why do they not ever show it to us when it's dark?
Hocus pocus. Anyways, so Yeah, they're doing the breakfast thing. Meri's talking to us about Ron pitching in and how she likes that he's just getting to work. He wants to help out. I mean, what else is there to do for him? I mean, that'd be awkward for
What's
him
he
to
gonna
just
go
sit
sit
at
in
a
the corner?
table.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like that too if I don't know these people. I'd be like, yeah, just give me some things to do. Maybe I can make a couple friends that way.
Exactly. And I think he is trying to make a good impression on all of her friends, and her friends are kind of throwing this fundraiser. They're not just attending it. So, no, he's not just going to go sit down at a table and eat eggs for 2 hours.
Yep.
He's going to cook eggs. He's going to crack some shells in them.
Yep.
He's
going to cook them wrong.
Yep.
Them eggs
I
did
will
look
give
terrible.
him. It sounds like Amber was not informed, right, of the situation with the fried eggs. So I think he was just taking Amber's orders because she had spatula.
Oh yeah, it ain't his fault. There's a lack of communication, but I will say them scrambled eggs looked bad.
So I think part of it was because they're cooking on a Blackstone, and if you're cooking something like eggs on a cast iron or a Blackstone, it has to be really, really clean, or you're gonna get all that old grease on there, and it's gonna discolor it. It's not gonna taste bad, but it will look ugly.
Okay.
I think that was the problem.
Maybe
because they didn't look burnt; they were like black.
They probably should have did like pancakes.
And they did do pancakes, but yeah, I think they should have just stuck with pancakes and sausage and orange juice. And honestly, I prefer, and you let me know how you feel, but I prefer a scrambled egg to a fried egg, especially a fried egg that's going to sit on like a buffet or a table in the heat up there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the eggs could have just been skipped in general.
I agree. Yeah. Agreed.
Whatever.
So we don't skip on over back to Christine, and I think this is their last. No, it's not. Jeez Louise, they just be popping all over the place. So Kody's gonna arrive in the scene. That's literally basically what's gonna happen. Like we said earlier, Christine was worried about how many people were gonna be at the table. Did you think this interaction was weird? Do you remember this?
My name is Kody Brown. I'm meeting some people.
He's all like leaned over, so friendly. I really think this man is seeking out a sister wife.
Yeah, this is just his personality, honestly. He's a little bit too much sometimes. But whatever. I mean, I guess you'd rather have somebody be nice like that than walk in and not really say much. Like, because I've been working customer service a long time. You get a lot of both.
That's definitely true. Yeah, especially hosting. Some people will just walk in and they will just give you the number of humans and no other words.
Or not even say anything. Sometimes they just are like looking at you.
Yeah, they just expect you to count and bring them. And then when it's wrong, it's your fault.
Yep, your fault.
Your fault.
So yeah, David and Christine just get started on these beers. They ordered them the second they sat down at this ginormous table and huge room. I'm like, I know TLC needed some room, but this is a huge side room.
It is a huge room. I mean, I guess they're in Las Vegas. Every hotel there is conference level size, hotel. Sure. And so I think every room is just this big. Kody said something about requesting a private room at this restaurant. So it's probably a private room for like 20 people,
Yeah, I just wonder in a situation like this, when the server decides to butt in, because this looks like a whole meeting here. And like I was saying about Janelle's episode, this one, I mean, I know we're only like halfway or partway through his apology, but there's no food.
Yeah.
So I don't even think they got Kody's drink order yet.
Right. I've worked at a country club, and maybe it's different than kind of fine dining. I haven't quite done fine dining, but country club fine dining. But we are expected, especially when there's private parties, to be present, like just be part of the wall.
Be there, yeah.
Until somebody asks for something or something's empty. So I guess in these situations, if somebody is in there, they don't really have to butt in. They'll probably hear them say that they're ready for their drinks or whatever. Or
maybe a producer goes and gets them, because I'm assuming they also don't want any of this leaked. So they're like, we're having a conversation in there, get us some drinks, and then we'll call you in whenever we need something.
For the woolies here.
Yeah, geez.
And Kody's comment was so strange. He's all like, "You better suck those beers down. I got some crazy stuff to say." Oh my god.
Yeah, he always makes quite a weird entrance, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, his entrance was even weirder. He's all, "Oh, the table. Oh." He said he was gonna extend a handshake and hug Christine. Then he walks in, he gets distracted by the length of the table, and you see him go back and forth, like, do I go on my side or do I go on their side? Like, he didn't want to walk that far to shake their hand. He did, but he thought about it for a while.
Thank goodness David was there as a man, because you know Kody likes to flourish around men, and you know Janelle, it was a lot of the weather first, but with David being there, he just got right into it.
He certainly did, which I think is important, because there is no small talk really needed here. I know they're trying to build a friendly foundation, but before that happens, like, Kody does need to state his intentions here. I think that's
he completely ignored Christine too, and she was like, "I was just telling David that we needed this when they was younger. This table."
I know. So we pop back over to the final part of this fundraiser, and Sean finally shows up. This is his fundraiser after all, and he lets us know that Meri's like a sister to him. He adores Meri. He says something like, "I don't care what everybody else says about her. I like her." Just like, geez Louise, man.
Well, good for you.
I mean, it wasn't that direct, but he kind of did imply that other people have difficulties with her.
He's like, she's always been good to my wife, so she's been good to me. And look at all she done.
I know. And look at Jen. She's so happy. She's definitely uncomfortable, like Meri said, but she's, receiving everything well. And it seems like she had a great day. And she said that she was, just happy to see the community and everybody come together.
And to see Ron. She liked seeing Ron there.
She did. She thought that he was a good guy. I know that she met Ron initially at the speed dating thing. She kind of like pre-screened him and thought that he was the best candidate anyway. So I think it was a good thing for them to see each other again, because obviously Meri and Ron have been hanging out.
Yeah. Obviously, apparently. There's a little montage of it in the beginning.
Yes, but we will quickly jump out of there. That is the end of the fundraiser. We wish Sean and Jen all of the best and a good recovery. And we hop over to Kody's sad face giving an apology. I want to apologize.
I just wanted to apologize for everything. For how we ended, for the divorce, how I handled it, for being angry about it. But not in any of these apologies. It's about these kids. He's worried about Christine healing. Like, the woman isn't already remarried or something, and she's 4 years out of this at this point.
I know. It's absolute insanity. I think that it's a nice gesture to say, I hope that what we talk about is healing, for both of us. But to say, I want you to be able to heal, implies that he's thinking that she's still so broken. And, just because she's angry at him doesn't mean that she's not healed. She part of being healed is setting boundaries, is saying, I'm not going to allow this kind of person to do these kinds of things in my life. I don't need that. So, Okay, Kody. I thought that was weird too. We all thought it was weird.
Who needs healing is your kids. Like, it just really gets me going, because you're worried about these women healing, and they are grown adults who left, you and Robin, because obviously, like, they really kind of didn't have any other choice.
Yeah.
Even Christine at that time, you were leaving her with no choice. You didn't have a damn door on her bedroom until that day that you decided to tell her you're not going to be intimate with her anyways. Yep. So she had no choice but to leave. Meri, I don't know what the hell you thought you was doing with Meri. I mean, you were straggling her along. When
he thought that he had the ability to be able to abandon this woman in a marriage because he could just punish her over and over and over for literal eternity for one thing that happened. That's what he thought he was going to do. He thought that he was that powerful.
Well, and he was already doing it. Like, he melted down a ring before we even really met. I mean, I would say that happened during the first season, because I remember seeing that ring on his finger when he proposed to Robin. So, in fact, we showed it to you guys at some point in the season.
I think so, yeah. So yeah, he gives his little bullshit. I think as I'm happy that he's apologizing. I do think it's going to go a long way in mending some of these relationships in the future. But I also think, just like he was with Janelle, he always has this little still air of just self-absorption and inability to recognize somebody else's point of view, even when he's trying really hard. Like in this first, I just want you to heal. It's like Christine's problem is not that she's unhealed. That's not it. She's fine.
Yeah. Her problem is that you don't see your kids.
Yes, exactly.
That's the problem. It's
Exactly. And you know
David's
what would be
problem.
super healing for all of these ex-wives is for their children to be happy.
Right, which honestly, I know he wanted to start with the mothers first because for some reason he thinks that's the barrier. But I honestly think it's more backwards. Like, had he shown more interest in his kids and apologized to his kids and showed an interest in all 15 or so of their lives, then eventually the moms probably would have warmed up to him and been like, we can do a family reunion. And even Robin, they might have even warmed up to that crazy lady.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think especially so with Christine, I think she would have been in a better position to receive this apology had he already done some work with the kids, because that would show his intentions before she has to sit and question what's going on. And really his relationship with the kids is what matters. And I think that's what Christine's point is in what she's trying to say here, but they cut her up so much. I think she's saying, like, our relationship is in the past. Understand that. What's not in the past is the relationship that you have with your kids. But they splice it all up so much. They did give us a bonus scene, which I was grateful for, because we literally got like 30 seconds at the end in the regular episode of the beginning of this apology. And that was just not enough for me to have it featured on an entire, festival style poster board. So we got like 2 more minutes of this scene. And it does start off with when Kody, David interjected into the conversation briefly. And Kody had said something about like being glad that David is there, but that he's hoping that David doesn't interject too much. And that's when the bonus scene comes in. And he says it could kind of be awkward to have Kody there but it would be more awkward if him and Christine were just alone, and that he didn't think that was like appropriate because they're both married people and he wanted to respect their marriage and not be alone with her. He also says, I think
you're never alone when there's 50 cameras, Kody.
Never. And you were alone with Janelle. I feel like that's even more scandalous. The two of you are at least married. If you were alone, I think for all intents and purposes, like, people should trust that you're gonna, respect your vows. Just because you're alone with another man doesn't mean your vows go out the window, right? With Janelle, she's a single woman melting at every word that you have to say. I think that's a little more. Shouldn't we had a referee or something there?
Yeah, Kody just likes to word vomit all day. I swear they pay him by the word.
He thinks that they do, at least. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think a producer asked, if David is there, why not have Robin there as well? And he word vomits all over this question too. It was quite a strange response. He starts off with saying that, of course, Robin needs to stay home with the kids, which is his usual response with his family. And then he stutters for like 20 to 30 seconds about some baloney or line. He's trying to say ultimately that if anyone else in the family wants to have the kind of conversation that I'm trying to have, they pretty much need to do that on their own. And that Robin is really not welcome in this conversation because that would take away from his intentions in trying to like have an apology. He also says that she would be a crutch for him. And I disagree with that. I think he could say what he's saying with Robin sitting right next to him and take just as much responsibility. None of it is Robin's responsibility, but I guess I could see some emotions being directed from Christine to Robin, and he can't really control that. So he just wants it to be a one-on-one.
Let's be clear. Those kids could all be in their 20s and Robin would have to stay home with the kids.
Of course. I mean, they basically are in their 20s. I know she has 2 younger ones, but they're old enough to come along at least.
Yeah, and sit in the hotel room for like a couple of hours.
Right. Yeah, it's okay.
They're not 4.
Right. So Christine said, or not Christine, sorry, Kody is telling Christine about this conversation that I mentioned earlier that he had with a friend, and that he had told the friend that he struggled for years in plural marriage. And his friend reminds him essentially that he has actually had probably some pretty good experiences, considering the fact that he has 18 kids and they're all, great and wonderful people. And then he's kind of questioning with his friend, when did this bitterness happen? And Kody says that while he was trying to figure that out and answer that, he realized that everybody has suffered a lot of pain. And a lot of that is because of the anger and the bitterness that he's had. And if he could just stop the immature, stupid thought process, which I think is referring to that special forces conversation, then the family really could have some healing, and he'd be able to move on and kind of build new. So he also says too that he's realized through that conversation and recognizing that if he just stops with the bitterness, everyone could heal, that there's actually no loss, that there's actually no reason for him to be so bitter. And Christine makes the same face that you just made in response to that. She's
there's some loss here, Kody.
There's some loss here. There's no loss now, I think, where they stand. Everything's said and done. Kody made a great point. If I hadn't messed this up, you wouldn't have what you have. And I think we can all agree that David is a much better match for Christine. But I think just because where they stand now, everything's worked out in a sense. We're not considering your children and the rest of your family.
You've literally lost a child.
That, yes.
I mean, what bigger loss other than a child? I
know. And to have no opportunity, right? I mean, he's lost many children, let's be real. But to have no opportunity to reestablish, a relationship. Yeah, there's an immense amount of loss. I think Christine was really gracious when she heard Kody say this, because I could tell she disagreed, as we all disagreed. Again, this is Kody thinking much more about himself than anyone else.
Yeah.
And I think he was just, again, word vomiting, trying to explain why he got rid of his bitterness and what's going on. But yeah, again, it just comes across so self-centered.
Yeah, I mean, even driver. I think this is where David might have gotten irritated enough to be like, well, what about your kids? I'm sick of this conversation. Like, Cody's like one of them drivers on a winter road, like an ice that's just overcorrecting so much that he's just spinning out. Like, he's trying to overcorrect everything to the point where it's starting to kind of spin out a little. All of this is well and good to apologize to these women, but it means nothing if you can't call your kids or text your kids or check in on your kids or extend your branches to your kids.
Right. At the end of the day, if you have a shit relationship with your kids, what good is a good relationship with your ex-wife? What good does that do you?
Nothing. Not a thing.
Wish I could post Danica right now.
What does he think's going to happen? He's going to talk to Christine, Janelle, and Meri, and then the next time they're around their kids, they're just going to be like, yeah, your dad's a great guy. You should give him a call.
I know, after all this time.
Forget everything. He had
an epiphany and he apologized. So actually, give him a call, be in his life, give him a hug.
Remember to forget.
Yeah. Goodness. So the bonus scene continues on after he says that nothing's been lost. And
holy crap, what a long bonus scene.
It wasn't, that's what I'm saying. This was the whole apology in a bonus scene. It was just insane.
Why is this a bonus scene?
This bonus episode should have been the actual episode. I stand by that. Both these bonus scenes were necessary, not additional. So he says, there's no reason that we can't bring back the good times that we had and the relationship that we had. And Christine agrees. And she says, everything can be fixed and can eventually be amended.
Do you think he's just doing all this so they can all have Christmas together so Robin doesn't cry in the bathroom this year?
I don't think Robin would be down for a family Christmas yet.
Well, she was not down to not have a family Christmas either. That woman was beside herself in a bathroom. Like,
Robin will never.
It's not Christmas.
That woman cried for 7 seasons straight.
Until Garrison passed, and then she never cried again.
And she stopped crying. You're exactly right.
Crazy. I hope I'm
I
not the only
know.
one that noticed that.
Yeah, it's insanity. So yeah, Christine says, all relationships can be amended and they can be fixed. And she shares with Kody that her and David were recently at a party and they saw this couple, and she actually had no idea that they were previously divorced couple, because when the guy walked in, hugs were given. Hey, how are you doing? And she said that she looked at David and she said that that would be really great to be able to have someday. So she's kind of setting her intention in this conversation is that hopefully, we can be friends like these people can. Then we get a bonus confessional from Christine. And she goes on and on. She says, I hope that he's better and over it, about 16 different ways. So I did cut out the rest of them, but she talks for quite a while about how she hopes that this is an indicator that he's done being angry and that he can have a good relationship with her and the kids. And then we finally hop back into the actual scene, which is the very end, where he acts like there's this big, here's the kicker. I apologize for saying I didn't love you. And it's like, I think the kicker was I apologize for how everything ended and how angry I was. Like, that is all that's needed.
And can we and I hope this happens maybe next episode, but you went and dug up the past with Janelle and apologized for not standing up for her. Can you apologize to Christine for making her feel ugly and for the nacho stuff and for making her feel like she was so undesirable and stuff? I mean, that stuff had some deep emotional scars. You're talking about healing for Christine. That might be better healing than you apologizing for being angry that she left you. The only people you need to be apologizing for being angry about divorce is honestly the kids and possibly Janelle. But the rest of it to Christine, I mean, what are you trying for saying that you didn't love her? I think that's some of the least of the worst things that you've said about Christine.
Well, and Christine is the first one and chose to end this relationship. So she's not going to be as offended by someone saying, I didn't love you. I mean, she probably knows, just like Janelle did, that wasn't the truth, but she left you. It's not like it's a big epiphany like it is for Janelle. I know Janelle left Kody, but she didn't. She sort of backed into a bush.
She slowly, she did that Homer Simpson thing, but she slowly got out of there. But with Christine, he says, I don't love you. Well, good. Then it shouldn't hurt you me leaving. Good riddance then.
Exactly. So yeah, he says that the reason he says he didn't love her was obviously because of his anger, which he's there to apologize for as well. And this is where Christine starts to get a little bit uncomfortable, and you can tell in the scene she's uncomfortable, but they also hop in the confessional and she's kind of flabbergasted. She's like, I don't know why he's saying this, and especially saying this here's the big one, right? And maybe that's because Janelle responded so pleasantly to that, but again, Janelle is in such a different position than Christine is, and it just shows Kody's
that's probably why Christine and David have that reaction in the preview of well, dude, I'm married, and he's just of course you loved her, you wouldn't have had all these damn kids with her,
right? And
that's not the big one to that. I mean, if that's the big one, then they're well, what the hell are we beating up this man for? The big one is these kids.
Exactly. And Christine says in the final confessional here, I think it's the final thing that she says is what's between us is in the past. If whether you loved me or not, it really doesn't even matter anymore. I have a husband here now. This is kind of unnecessary for us to be talking about. So yeah, I think David is this is the point where David is gonna get frustrated and maybe step in and say, hey, this is all well and good, and I hope that you feel better for saying this.
But I hope this is helping your healing, because remember last episode he was like, I needed this.
Yeah, it is. He's such a self-centered guy, even in his attempts, to be compassionate.
He already acknowledged in the tell-all last season, I think, that he didn't mean it when he said he didn't love them. So why is that the kicker?
Exactly.
Doesn't make sense. Anyway.
So we do get a a preview for next episode. Like we said, David's going to bring up the kids in this Kody apology. We're going to see the Kody and Christine apology get wrapped up. And Janelle is going to talk more about her spiritual divorce. She's actually going to jump on a FaceTime or a Zoom with Meri. And Meri kind of, calls her bluff. And she's like, what's taking so long? Why don't you just call them or text them? It really doesn't, you don't have to send a carrier pigeon or anything. And she was like, okay, well, then I'm going to do it. And she texts them apparently right there. So
I can't wait for that scene.
I'm excited to see that. I think that will be nice. And then Meri is talking to us in a confessional about, Kody's extended olive branch, what her thoughts are about this upcoming apology. So we're not going to see it start, I think, next episode, but we're going to see her thoughts about it start to come out.
Yes. I know that we also don't see him and David race, but I think that's got to be in there.
Right. So that's why I am a little bit worried. But maybe, they're probably racing in Las Vegas. But yeah, that's why I'm a little worried that there might be some scenes or episodes.
What if it happens at the tell-all or something?
Like it's like an extended bonus.
Yeah, they're like, we just had them race it out.
Right. No, you're right. I mean, it's very possible that this next episode could be when they have their little race, but I feel like they would have shown us that. That was something they featured so much during the season trailer. Like, Kody and David are going to hang out. And now, like, I haven't seen nothing. I didn't even see a preview for that in the still to come.
Yeah, nothing.
Did we miss it?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to double back. Last episode, maybe after he talks to Meri, he needs to get some stuff out of his system. But
anyways. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So there could be episodes after the apology tour. They could be wrapping up the season and having, their convos with Suki after. It's still unclear to Anne and I. So we will keep you all updated about that as it comes.
Yep. But for now, I mean, speak now or forever hold your peace, because we really dissected this one.
We did. We took our time. We're glad that you all joined us, especially our regulars, Days and Joe. You always know how to show up no matter what time we pop up live. So we really do appreciate that. And to everyone watching on the replay, thank you as well. Send us what kind of emoji should they drop on the replay?
Maybe a witch hat, since he's a Sanderson sister.
Yes, give us a witch hat.
Or a witch or something. Yeah, I will say, Kody must be a Sanderson sister, because look at how much Robin has aged. He's really sucked the soul out of that lady.
Facts.
So, once the other ones got away, they got their life back. But
I know. I'm telling you, the luster comes back as soon as you leave Kody. It's the key to the fountain of youth.
Honestly, it's like he runs around singing that song, "Come here, poor women, I'll take thee away."
He does. Especially if they do start looking for another wife. I mean, that better be the theme song instead of the dun 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 dun. It would be that song.
And then, like,
every time I hear that song, I think of horses galloping.
Yeah, it's almost like a scary song at this point.
It is. It's like, and they used to have all the thunder, in the background when all the divorces were happening. Yeah, it was intense.
I want them to bring back the original intro.
Yeah.
Love should be multiplied, not divided.
I didn't just want the man. I wanted the family.
Even just Robin and Kody's part, they can have Meri, Christine, and Janelle like re-record theirs.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I didn't want just the man, I wanted the family. I think that was Christine's part.
She did say, yeah, that is Christine's part.
Oh, it's good. Good times.
I don't remember Robin's part.
I didn't want the family, I just wanted the money.
that part. Could you imagine?
I just wanted to stop living as a single mom and debt.
I just wanted to build the whole family.
I wanted to stop living in a rental house and having so much debt.
Facts. Oh my gosh. All right, Chick Chat. Well, it has been fun. We hope that you all have a fantastic week, and we will see you after the holiday.
Yep. After the holiday. Remember to reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna, and goodbye, but also like, share, whatever, do the things, especially like, it helps us stay in the rhythms.
Yes, give us some likes and comments and all the things. So peace out, Chick Chat.
Goodbye and Merry Christmas.